Roller derby is played in increments called jams. Each jam lasts up to 2 minutes. Both teams field up to 5 skaters at the start of the jam. 4 of these skaters are called blockers, and 1 is called the jammer. The jammer wears a helmet cover with a star on it and scores points for the team. The blockers are playing both offense and defense at the same time, and together they make up what is called the pack. The 2 jammers start each jam behind the pack and must get through all of these skaters for an initial pass before they can begin to score points. When the initial pass is complete, a jammer can score 1 point for every opponent they pass with their hips. The first jammer out of the pack legally is declared lead jammer, which means they can end the jam anytime they want before the 2 minutes are up. Sounds easy, right?
pick up lead, and they do. 4 points on the board for the Heartless Heathers. Both teams scrambling in turn 2 and calling off the jam. 3 points picked up at the tail end of that jam by the High Rollers. That'll bring your score to 11-4.
The largest selection of click away at Tonkin.com.
Lures Lemon back to the track for the High Rollers, and out first, lead jammer.
Headache out front, clears the pack on the initial pass for the Heartless Heathers.
Lures Lemon picking up a penalty, cannot call off the jam. It's a forearm, not a legal blocking surface.
As a result, this jam does not have a lead jammer, and we will be going the full 2 minutes. Headache on the outside of the second turn. She is clear for 4 points.
You'll notice the jam clock. Once the jam clock expires, this jam will expire since we do not have a lead, as Mike mentioned before.
And Headache with a back block penalty will now report to the penalty box as Lures Lemon will return to play. Scratcher in the eye providing the last-ditch defense up front, but Lures Lemon clear on a 4-point scoring pass.
Lures Lemon had cleared the pack before going to the box, and so the 4 points were immediately available to her upon a return.
This time it was Fleetwood Smack trying to hold back Lures Lemon, but Lures clears for 4 more. 8 points so far this jam.
High Rollers doing a good job of holding it down inside the pack.
And Lures Lemon clears for another 4 points for the High Rollers.
The clock continues to wind down as we get to 2 minutes, and it looks like we've got a cutting of the track. 30 seconds in the box. High Rollers likely to start on a power jam for the next jam.
Last minute points for each team coming in at the end of that jam. High Rollers 25, Heartless Heathers 11.
Hey, Derby fans, don't forget Underwood wines are available down at the bar. Single serve cans of Pinot Noir, Pinot Gris, or a double serving can of Rosé Bubbly. Check it out, the adult beverages down at the bar.
Polywana Cracker, the only jammer on the track.
Headache still sitting in the penalty box for the penalty picked up in the last jam, and Polywana Cracker quickly through lead jammer for the High Rollers. The Blast Unicorn reporting to the penalty box for the Heathers.
And 4 points picked up by Polywana Cracker as the High Rollers add to their total.
Nice active offense in the backfield by Pixie. Polywana Cracker through 4-point scoring pass, High Rollers.
Headache back to the track where we have 2 jammers, no power jam right now.
Brute plays offense up front, able to peel off the Heathers blockers. 4-point scoring pass again for Polywana Cracker.
And power jam once again for the High Rollers.
Blast Unicorn going for a last-second hit. Polywana Cracker dances out of the way, clear for another 4. 16 so far this jam.
Heartless Heathers speeding up the pack in an effort to slow down Polywana Cracker.
Polywana Cracker calls off the jam from turn 1. Did pick up 3 more points. A 19-point effort in that jam.
Our jam line this evening is being brought to you by the Jam on Hawthorne. Portland's best vegan-friendly, booze-friendly, kid-friendly, omnivore-friendly, everybody-friendly breakfast. That's the Jam on Hawthorne.
The place is delicious.
Team timeout being called by the Heartless Heathers. That is their first team timeout.
Oh, and that timeout is a Trailhead Credit Union timeout. All of our timeouts this evening will be brought to you by Trailhead Credit Union. Hey, Derby fans, out enjoying a nice Rose City Roller sponsored beverage or grabbing some grub? Show our sponsor some love on social media and tag your photos with the hashtag RCR sponsor. Then you'll be entered to win a pair of VIP tickets to one of our upcoming games.
So that was the Heartless Heathers' first team timeout. Each team has 3 that they are able to use during the course of a game. They also have 1 official review. Kassassin out on the jam line for the High Rollers. Headache out of the penalty box and back on the track for the Heartless Heathers.
And lead picked up by Headache.
Kassassin working on the outside rail. Heathers thought they had a track cut, did not get the call.
Very tight pack as both teams pushing to get their jammer through.
Diana Hitchett, great work in the front of the pack, working with Big Bang Fury. Excellent containment defense up front. Big Bang Fury going one-on with Headache at the front of the pack. Headache trying to push out.
Out of play is the call, and that's 30 seconds in the box.
4-point scoring pass for Headache there.
Pack advantage favoring Heartless Heathers.
Headache through with another 4 points. High Rollers losing another blocker to the penalty box. Direction of play penalty sends Glam to the penalty box, and Headache clears on another 4-point scoring pass. Just like that, on that 12-point jam, High Rollers 44, Heartless Heathers 23.
Hey, we'd like to thank Black Cat Plumbing, your local neighborhood plumbing company and proud sponsor of Rose City Rollers. Oh,
Official
looks like we have
time.
another Trailhead Credit Union timeout. Or not.
Some issues are more quickly resolved than others.
Lures Lemon back to the track for the High Rollers.
4 is jamming for the Heartless Heathers, knocked to the inside, but a high block penalty. 4 is to report to the penalty box.
Power Jam 4, Lures Lemon.
Lures working on the inside rail. Trying to push out Bella Constrictor, now moves to the out and clear on a 4-point scoring pass.
High Rollers doing a great job of playing offense there for their jammer.
Cleared on the apex jump. 4-point scoring pass for Lures Lemon and the High Rollers. High Rollers defense set in the backfield, waiting for fours out of the penalty box.
Notice the jammer standing. It's 10 seconds or less on the penalty.
Lures with 12 points so far this jam, working on another scoring pass for the High Rollers. Brute cycles up to play defense for the High Rollers, but they have to let fours go.
High Rollers playing offense in an effort to get their jammer out, calling off the jam.
Head on over to the bar and grab yourself an Ninkasi Prismatic IPA or Pacific Rain Pale Ale. Head on over to the Toe Stop.
So HP, we just had a 15-point jam. We had a 12-point jam before that. Teams putting some points up on the board. High Rollers 59, Heartless Heathers 23.
Big swing so far. And Freddie Herfury with one to beat, pushed into the inside.
Diana Hitchett to the penalty box for the High Rollers.
Pack advantage, Heartless Heathers.
Nice cycling up of the defense there by the Heathers. Thought they had a track cut and did get it. So Nuga knockout in the penalty box. Freddie Herfury, your lead jammer for the Heartless Heathers.
Pack advantage, Heartless Heathers. Even up now as we get one blocker a team.
Tenacious defense by Brood at the front of the pack, but Freddie Herfury clears for 4 points.
High Rollers with tough nose defense in turn 3.
Big Bang Fury and Mayday, the 2 all at the front of the pack. Freddie Herfury trying to find an answer. Freddie Herfury versus Big Bang Fury at the front of the pack. Freddie Herfury gets clear for 4. The blast unit, Stan the Woman to the penalty box.
Jammer of record for the High Rollers, Brute, as we had a star pass.
Helping you be more awesome in your work, sport, and life. That's WSL Leadership Coaching.
Polywana Cracker back to the track for the High Rollers.
Opposite Mia Palau for the Heartless Heathers. High Rollers starting with a 4-3 blocker advantage. Mia Palau clears the pack first with lead jammer. Polywana Cracker giving up a little less than half the track. Pack was fast into the far straightaway. Polly picks off 2 points. 2 points for Mia Palau.
$37 Heartless Heathers, 61 High Rollers. We got 13:40 in this first period of play.
Lures Lemon jamming for the High Rollers, opposite fours.
Good push in turn 2.
It's Lures Lemon escaping the pack first, and Smush knocked to the outside of turn 3.
Recycled, having to try it again as Lures Lemon attempting to bypass the 3 Heartless Heathers.
Multiplayer block assessed against the High Rollers. And Smush out of the pack, clear on the initial pass for the Heartless Heathers.
High Rollers doing a great job of coming back to play O to free up Lures Lemon and pick up 4 points.
Fours, though, through the pack. Quick 4 points for the Heathers answering. And Smush through the pack. Another 4 points for the Heartless Heathers.
Lures Lemon bottled up, calls off the jam.
Buffalo Gap Saloon and Eatery is John's Landing favorite saloon and eatery, just across the bridge.
Kassassin jamming for the High Rollers opposite Freddie Herfury.
Freddie Herfury recycled, and out first is Kassassin, lead jammer, High Rollers.
That was Pixie on the drawback there. Freddie Herfury knocked to the inside once again.
Heartless Heathers doing a great job of plugging up turn 1.
Successful star pass to the Blast Unicorn. Clear on the initial pass for the Heathers. Kassassin held to 3 points in that scoring pass. High Rollers 69, Heartless Heathers 45.
The friendly people over at Echo Construction love custom home building, remodels, and roller derby. Of course they love roller derby. Everybody loves roller derby.
Darn right. That's Mia Palau as your jammer opposite Polywana Cracker, and it's Mia Palau through the pack first. Quick lead for the Heathers.
Polywana Cracker recycled, attempting to get back through that Heartless Heathers wall as Mia Palau found some space on the outside for a 4-point pass.
Big Bang Fury tried to scrub to the outside but could not connect. Quick 8 points for the Heartless Heathers. That brings them to 53. High Rollers 69. Just about 10 minutes left to go in this first half.
Lures Lemon back to the track for the High Rollers, and that's headache for the Heartless Heathers.
Pack staying constricted in the front straightaway. But it's Lures Lemon escaping turn 2, lead jammer, High Rollers.
Shifting directions on the inside line is Lures Lemon, picking up 4 points on the pass.
Headache still working on the initial pass, switching up and playing a little bit of jammer defense at the back of the pack. Big pileup in turn 1.
Pack advantage, High Rollers.
Lures Lemon working against that brace 2 wall in the back of the pack. Offense coming in the form of Brute first.
Hey, Derby fans, know a business that would benefit by promoting at Derby events and to RCR members? Email sponsorship at roadcityrollers.com or check out our sponsorship info on roadcityrollers.com.
So it looks like we're going to start with 2 blockers in the box for the Heathers and 1 for the High Rollers. Assassin jamming for the High Rollers.
And we've got force majeure for the Heartless Heathers and lead jammer Heathers.
Glam on a track cut penalty to the penalty box for the Heathers. That makes Assassin's trip through the pack really easy for 4 points. Mass exodus from the penalty box.
Even up in the pack, both teams with a blocker in the box.
Fours goes to the outside, gets scrubbed, comes back in, tries to work on the in.
Not a lot of space as the front Triforce for the High Rollers playing tough nose defense.
It's a palindrome.
Thinking about buying a car? Why not head over to Tonkin dealership and tell them the friendly folks at Road City Rollers sent you over. That's Tonkin.com.
85-58 your score. Just under 7 minutes of play left in the first half. Freddie Herfury on the outside cuts the track. Power jam now for Polywana Cracker.
4-on-4 in the pack. Polywana Cracker push to the inside. Make that the outside.
Blast Unicorn working on the drawback. Now at the front of the pack was Shredder Cheese, but Polywana Cracker through for 4 points.
Four blockers for the Heartless Heathers. Not a lot of space for Polywana Cracker.
Freddie Herfury out of the penalty box, working against the back of the pack now for the Heathers. Herfury still on the initial pass.
Offense coming from Pixie for the High Rollers.
Pixie going back and forth, playing offense and defense when needed. Star pass on the outside. Blast Unicorn now jammer of record for the Heathers.
Pushed in the infield is Polywana Cracker, calls off the jam.
Jamafist reporting to the penalty box at the end of that last jam for the Heathers. High Rollers will start with a 1 blocker advantage.
They would like to thank Nightlight Lounge, Rose City sponsor since day one, and a fantastic spot for food, drinks, and a fantastic patio. Might not really need the patio this evening, but soon.
Mia Plow out for the Heartless Heathers, and that's Lures Lemon for the High Rollers.
Hard fall in the front straightaway. Lures Lemon recovers. But it's Mia Palau through the pack first. Lead jammer going to the Heartless Heathers. Big Bang Fury to the penalty box for the High Rollers.
Mia Palau uncontested on the pass. 4 points picked up.
And a track cut penalty called in turn 1 on Lures Lemon. Mia Palau now in a power jam situation.
Tiny Apex hop, 8 points. I say tiny because it's not me. That's huge.
Scratcher in the eye to the penalty box on a direction of play penalty. And Mia Palau, 4 more points for the Heartless Heathers.
2-on-2 in the pack. Mia Palau with 1 to beat.
Minstrel Psycho giving chase, but Mia Palau through for 4 more. 16 points so far this jam.
Nice head fake and juke for Mia Palau, picking up 4 points on the pass.
Lures Lemon out of the penalty box, now working on the back of the pack in turn 2. Clears on the initial pass for the High Rollers.
And Mia Palau may have landed that last jump.
21 points, the biggest jam of the night so far. Heartless Heathers 79, High Rollers 93. Team timeout being called by the High Rollers.
That timeout's being brought to you this evening by Trailhead Credit Union. Hey, we'd also like to take this opportunity to wish a happy 37th birthday to Heather Hammer Smasher Harrington. Happy birthday, Heather. Well, looks like we had another birthday as well. We'd also like to wish a happy birthday to Blake. Happy birthday, Blake. Well, thanks for joining us out here tonight at the hangar at Oaks Park.
After that 21-point jam, we've got 79 for the Heartless Heathers, 93 for the High Rollers, 2:47 remaining in this first period of play. I say first because there will be two of these and a short intermission to follow. We've got some exciting activities at halftime. You're going to want to stay tuned for that as well.
Kassassin jamming for the High Rollers, quickly through the pack for lead jammer. Smush in the back of the pack for the Heartless Heathers. Clear on the initial pass.
Polywana Cracker out for the High Rollers, making a move to the outside, picks up 4 points on the jam, calls it off.
Nice offense by Dakota Evans there, getting the jammer clear on that last scoring pass. Fans, remember to buy those skate wheels for the skate wheel toss that is taking place at halftime. That's coming up in just a few minutes.
Rumor is a dance-off will take place as well.
Well, this is roller derby. Headache jamming opposite Kassassin. Headache through the pack first with quick lead jammer for the Heathers.
Heathers trailing by 18 as we start this jam.
Two points picked up by the Heathers, one by the High Rollers. That brings us to 98-81.
Hey, we'd like to thank our good friend Deb Counts Tabor. Let Deb guide you home. Proud realtor sponsor of the Rose City Rollers. Check it out at welcometopdx.com.
Roughly a minute left in the period. Lures Lemon on the line for the High Rollers.
Opposite Mia Palau. Lures Lemon through first for your lead jammer.
All right, looks like there was a question about the star pass going back to Mia Palau.
4 points picked up in that jam by the High Rollers, and it looks like we have an official review being called by the Heartless Heathers. That was the Heartless Heathers using their official review as a timeout here to end the first half.
32 seconds on the game clock. We do have a jam clock as well, which can run as much as 2 minutes.
So the first half will end when this jam comes to its natural conclusion, most likely, as long as there's no time left on the period clock. Force Majeure trying to push out the front of the pack. Initially a braced 3-wall.
Polywana Cracker surrounded by Heathers in turn 1.
Scratcher in the eye, up to play offense. Fours knocked to the inside, forced to reset. Polywana Cracker being scrubbed to the outside, manages to stay in bounds. No pass, no penalty.
Polywana Cracker cannot be lead, but can pick up points here.
Polywana Cracker knocked to the inside by Fleetwood Smack.
Force Majeure locked in turn 1.
Dakota Evans to the penalty box for the High Rollers. And a 4-point scoring pass for Polywana Cracker.
We are on the jam clock.
Big Bang Fury and Pixie, great defense up front for the High Rollers, and Fours scrubbed to the inside once again.
Excellent recycling by the High Rollers on this jam.
Pack mired at the exit of turn 2. Direction of play penalty now. And that jam is going to bring us to halftime. 8 more points for the High Rollers. That brings our score to 110. Heartless Heathers 81. Fans, stick around for halftime. We'll have more action for you in 15 minutes.
All right, Derby fans, hang loose here. We're going to have some halftime shenanigans coming up. Here we go.
All right, where are the adults at that decided to help me with this? 1, 2, 3. Let's get out here. All right, kids, I need you to divide up into groups of 3. Find your friends. This is it, I think. Yeah, if you're here. Wait, all of the other kids for.
So what are we?
We're gonna do. I'm gonna explain the rules in a second.
Okay. Listen.
I need more adults to come out here. Okay, I have to figure this out first. All right, kids, let's divide up into groups of 3. Let's get one group of 3 right there, one group right here. Perfect. One group here, and one group there. I'm gonna explain the rules real fast. We're gonna play freeze dance. So we have picked out 2 songs. The music is gonna play. The DJ is going to pause the song, and they have to stop dancing. We have adults out here that will figure out who is still dancing when the music stops. And if there are any adults who want to come up and dance against the children for free drink tickets, come on out. Got to be out here by the time the music stops. We have free drink tickets. All right, kids, are you ready to dance? Yeah, okay, we have dice versus ice. Dice for the High Rollers, ice for the Heartless Heathers. Thank you so much. All right, start dancing, kids. So much. Oh. All right, who's still moving? One still moving? Everyone else good? All right, let's start the music again. Ooh, all right, parents, who is still moving at the end of the music? Anyone? All right, let's go again. Ooh, Oh, all right. Come over and join me if you are out of the game. Let's go again. Yeah, help me judge them. Oh, I guess I should. Oh, call him out, call him out. Oh. All right.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, we're narrowing down the field, y'all. All right, let's hear some cheers for the dice dancers before we go again. Yeah, dice and ice. All right, hit the music again. Oh.
She was bouncing. Oh, there she, yeah.
Oh, good job, y'all. You gotta dance. Oh. Let's go, one last round. Oh. Looks like we're calling one last one out. Oh. All right, do we just have 2 left? All right, move towards the middle. You're the last 2 ones. Dance off. You gotta dance. Come on, y'all can move more than that. Let's dance. Okay, we'll do 2 minutes. Okay. Yeah, we're running out of time. Green. Oh, looks like we have a winner! Woo! Let's give it up for the Dice versus Ice dancers. Adults, come see me. Y'all want free drinks?
What's that?
I don't know. She gave me the whole roll. There's a free drink ticket.
Thank you.
All right, anybody out there purchase a wheel for our wheel roll? Grab that wheel. We're ready for the wheel roll. Okay, everybody who's purchased a wheel now for the wheel roll, come on out on the track here and assemble on the far side over here in front of the benches. Still time to buy a wheel if you want one. Come on out. And over here on the back side of the track. We're gonna roll them toward the crowd. All right, so just right over here. Everybody hanging on right over here. We got to find our target. All right, again, everybody who's purchased a wheel, come on out on the track and assemble on the far side over here. Do we have a target? All right, everybody that's got a wheel out on the track now. All right, we're gathering everyone out here. Okay. Just one more moment. We're going to find a target. Okay. All right, I've found the target. Okay, so the idea of the game is to get it in or as close as you can. Don't forget your number. Everybody remember the number that they have on their wheel, honor system. All right, so on the count of 3, Everybody roll the wheel, okay? Everybody ready? 1, 2, 3. Give them a roll. Too much heat on that one. Here we go. Oh, we got one in there. All right, nice work. Nice work. Oh, there's 2 in. All right, in the event that there's 2 in, we'll take the one closest to the middle. Oh, that one was in and out. All right, is that it? Everybody roll. All right, so it looks like we have 2 in. Closest one to the middle is the red one. So the winner is 137. Whose was that? Hey, there you go. Awesome. All right, 137's the winner. Nice work. All right, congratulations. Thank you guys all for coming out and enjoying the halftime shenanigans. Just a few more minutes here and we'll have, look at you go. Awesome, that's official. Hang on, hang on just a second, okay? Thanks, don't forget to get yourselves a cold beverage before the game resumes in just a couple of minutes.
All righty, Derby fans, welcome back. We are just a couple of moments away from getting the second half underway. The High Rollers leading the Heartless Heathers 110-81.
Pollywanna Cracker out first, Lee Jammer High Rollers to start the second period.
Mia Palau contending with Mayday in the back of the pack, but Mia Palau now clear on the initial pass for the Heartless Heathers.
Pollywanna Cracker picks up 4 points, calls off the jam.
Casey Harrison.
All right, we've got a wallet at the front desk. If you have lost your wallet, please go to the front desk.
Track cut penalty lures Lemon. Headache in the Heartless Heathers now in a power jam. Headache clear on the initial pass.
Lead Jammer with Headache, only power jam here for the Heathers.
Scratcher in the eye up, trying to play offense on the outside. Headache clears on a 4-point scoring pass.
Chance for the Heathers to jump back in the middle of this one.
Lures Lemon on the inside. Arreo clears on the scoring pass, or on the initial pass for the High Rollers.
Once again, if you've lost a wallet, please go to the front desk. We have a wallet.
Kassassin jamming for the High Rollers opposite fours, and Kassassin through first. Lead jammer for the High Rollers.
Force majeure with 2 to beat in turn 2. On an initial pass.
Big Bang Fury had to let fours go. Kassassin still in the pack on that first scoring pass.
Don't forget to head over to concessions and get yourself a Two-Town cider. Damn fine cider made right here in the Pacific Northwest. That's Two-Town cider.
Three points picked up by Kassassin in that last jam. High Rollers 117, Heartless Heathers 89.
Back to the track, Mia Palau for the Heartless Heathers. Number 3, Pollywanna Cracker for the High Rollers.
Both teams at full strength. Pollywanna Cracker to the outside. Big exit hit by Stan. Pollywanna Cracker was declared lead jammer, though.
Mia Palau on the way to the box, which means it's a power jam for the High Rollers.
Pack speeding up through the far straightaway. Pollywanna Cracker in on a scoring pass. Brute up to play offense.
Four-wall by the Heartless Heathers.
Brute again active on offense for the High Rollers. Pollywanna Cracker up front.
4 points squeaking by on the inside line was Pollywanna Cracker.
Stand to the penalty box for the Heartless Heathers. Both jammers being drawn back. Scratcher in the eye, drawing back Pollywanna Cracker.
Mia Palau finding some space on the inside line and through, not lead.
Polywana Cracker finding room on the inside of the front straightaway. Takes 4 more points and calls off the jam.
Bringing the best of classic and modern cinema to Portland, it's Laurelhurst Theater and Pub.
Lures lemon out for the High Rollers and headache for the Heartless Heathers.
Blast Unicorn taking down Lures Lemon. Brace 2 wall in the back. Offense coming from Diana Hitcha.
Headache is lead, but is also recycled into turn 1.
Brace 2 wall in the backfield. Back block penalty. That's looks like it's going against Diana Hitch, and if that's the case, that is Diana's 6th penalty.
Headache picking up a penalty in the box. Power jam. High Rollers.
Successful star pass. Big Bang Fury, the jammer of record now for the High Rollers. And this jam's going for 2 minutes.
It's endurance times for both teams.
Big Bang Fury getting some offense now. Scrub to the outside. Big Bang Fury, 1 to beat up front. Heather's defense keeps cycling. Shredder Cheese up front now. Jamafist continues cycling up.
Heartless Heathers working hard to contain in turn 1. Headache chugging away into the green wall.
That is really amazing waterfall defense by the Heathers there going into turn 2. Big Bang Fury scrub to the outside once again. Headache now clear on the initial pass. And that, fans, was 2 minutes of Derby.
The Heathers would like to thank a few of their sponsors: Killer Burger, K-Fit, East Gleason Pizza, and Heather B's Flowers. Thank you so much for being sponsors to our own Heartless Heathers.
And we want to thank one of our sponsors, the Jam on Hawthorne, is getting ready on the jammer line for this one.
Nuga knockout jamming for the High Rollers. Opposite Smush. Stand to the penalty box for the Heartless Heathers.
Both walls doing an excellent job of containing the Stars in turn 2.
Fleetwood Smack whistled for a penalty, also going to report to the penalty box for the Heathers.
Pack advantage heavily favoring the High Rollers.
And a multiplayer block being whistled. Nuga knockout, clear the pack, lead jammer, High Rollers.
Finding some space on the inside line. Nuga knockout picking up 4 points on the pass.
Brute again active on the offense, opposite Scratcher. High Rollers calling off the jam. They lead 133 to 89.
We'd like to give a shout out to the High Rollers sponsors: Laurelhurst Movie Theater, Upswept Creative, and Left Turn Clothing. Thank you so much for sponsoring our High Rollers.
That is Mia Palau jamming for the Heartless Heathers, and Polywana Cracker for the High Rollers. Polywana Cracker is your lead jammer. Mia Palau also clear on the initial pass.
5 minutes to burgers, beer, and bottomless fries. Check it out at Killer Burger.
Once again, we want to thank Tonkin.com. Thinking about buying a car from a Tonkin dealership? Tell them the Rose City Rollers sent you.
2 points picked up in that last jam by the High Rollers, 135-89 your score. Inside 20 minutes left to play.
Lures lemon out for the High Rollers, and that's headache for the Heartless Heathers.
Scratcher in the eye, up to play offense while transitioning to defense. Lures lemon almost clear on the outside. Heathers cycle up to play defense.
Headache trying to make their way through the four wall of green domination in turn one.
Glam to the penalty box for the Heartless Heathers. Lures lemon clear, a lead jammer going to the High Rollers. Headache clears on the initial pass. High Rollers call off the jam after picking up 4 more points.
Kassassin out for the High Rollers, lead jammer.
Freddie Herfury working through the pack for the Heartless Heathers, goes to the outside. That path shut down by the High Rollers blockers though.
Kassassin through for 4 points.
Dakota Evans, Brute, and Pixie on the lockdown defense in the back of the pack for the High Rollers. Multiplayer block up front. Bella Constrictor to the penalty box for the Heathers.
8 points on the jam for Kassassin, clearing the pack once again.
Ditch Witch and Brute to the penalty box for the High Rollers.
It is a micro pack.
Pixie checking in, returning to gameplay. You can only have 2 blockers sitting in the penalty box at the same time. Kassassin through on a 4-point scoring pass. Freddie Herfury passing the star to the Blast Unicorn.
Heartless Heathers have the advantage inside the pack.
Blast Unicorn knocked to the outside. Kassassin being held up at turn 4.
Good looking 3-wall in that turn for the Heartless Heathers.
Glam bracing at the front. Bella Constrictor bridging out the pack. Blast Unicorn forced to fight against a brace 2-wall in the back. Spins around Brute, but forced out by Dakota Evans. And the Blast Unicorn makes it through on the inside rail, 4 points.
We'd like to shout out to Secret Aardvark Sauce, a local flavor. Kicks you right in the mouth. Secret Aardvark Sauce.
'93 Heartless Heathers, 158 High Rollers. 16-13 remaining in this second and final period of play.
And we've got a team timeout being called by the Heartless Heathers.
And that timeout's being brought to you this evening by Trailhead Credit Union. Also like to take this opportunity to remind everyone that coming up, the Heartless Heathers' 15th annual anti-Valentine's Day party is just around the corner. Join them and DJ Agent Meow for an iconic evening of dancing, drinking, spanking, and much more. Lots more info over at rosecityrollers.com. We also have some more roller derby coming up on February 29th. Join the Road City Roller Wreckers for their premier exhibition bout Again, that's February 29th, Leap Year Day. Tickets available at RoseCityRollers.com.
All right, Derby fans, we need to hear from you. Who's a fan of the High Rollers?
What about my Heartless Heathers fans? Heathers fans, make some noise!
Mia Plow on the track for the Heartless Heathers, and that is Polywana Cracker for the High Rollers.
Mia Palau initially dragged back. Forearm penalty against Scratcher in the eye. And it's Polywana Cracker through the pack first, picking up lead jammer for the High Rollers.
Mia Plow recycled in turn 1 by the High Rollers.
Mia Palau gets by Ebenezer Bruise. Polywana Cracker calls off the jam, though, after picking up 4 more points for the High Rollers.
Hey, we'd like to give a shout out to Girls Gym. Where are the people from Girls Gym? Thank you for coming out. There they are. Awesome. Thanks for coming out. We'd also like to shout out Brian and Melissa, celebrating Melissa's birthday by seeing Rose City Rollers for the very first time. Thanks for coming out.
Once again, we find ourselves on the Jam line, sponsored by the Jam on Hawthorne.
Lurs Lemon through the pack first, picking up lead jammer for the High Rollers. Four is trying to find purchase against Pixie and Ditch Witch in the backfield.
And we've got a forearm call against Lures Lemon. Power Jam, Heartless Heathers.
Scratcher in the eye, out of the penalty box, trying to help Fours through the pack. Jamafist being whistled for a penalty for the Heartless Heathers. Ditch Witch also in the penalty box now for the High Rollers. Great star pass there by the Heartless Heathers. Scratcher in the eye, now the jammer of record. And Scratcher through the pack, quick 4 points for the Heartless Heathers.
Lures Lemon on the inside line, picking up 4 points for the High Rollers.
Scratcher in the eye, dances around the apex, but drops a toe stop on the inside. Track cut penalty for the Heathers.
Lures Lemon airborne, 4 points, High Rollers.
Pack picks up pace a little bit as it enters the front straightaway. Damage report with the exit hit, though, didn't completely knock out Lures. Four more points for the High Rollers, 3 more for the Heathers as that jam reaches a 2-minute conclusion.
Hey, we have one more happy birthday. Happy birthday to Heather Headbanger Harrington. Happy birthday. I'd also like to give a shout out to Megan Bender. Happy early Valentine's Day. Can't wait for a million more. Love, Marcus. Aww. Ain't that nice?
Scratcher in the eye starting in the penalty box. Kassassin, the only jammer of record to start on that jam line. Nice drag back by Mia Palau. Big Bang Fury to the penalty box and Scratcher in the eye through the pack first. Lead jammer, Heartless Heathers.
Great offense by the Heartless Heathers on the inside line, opening it up for Scratcher in the eye.
Scratcher into the pack again and through for another 4 points. Kassassin now to the penalty box for the High Rollers on a back block penalty.
free pass for Scratcher in the eye. Up to 12 points for the Heartless Heathers on the jam.
Mia Palau, Alpha Bravo, and Stan doing great work of offense there in that power jam for the Heathers.
Hey, we'd like to thank a few of our sponsors here, Myopic Optometry, Portland Vital Signs, and Red Bull. Thank you all so much.
Headache out for the Heartless Heathers and Kassassin for the High Rollers.
Kassassin still in the penalty box, serving that penalty occurred in the last jam. Headache through the pack first. Lead jammer goes to the Heartless Heathers.
A chance for the Heartless Heathers to put some points up.
Again, active offense from the Heathers. Headache met by Pixie up front. That gives the High Rollers blockers time to reset.
Kassassin turning the legs, getting through on an initial pass.
Headache clears the pack, bumped by Brute at the exit, but that's 4 more points for your Heartless Heathers.
I'd like to thank a few more of our sponsors, Fran's Bakery, 187 Killer Pads, and Lemon Designs.
Needed to be unplugged.
Mia Plow out for the Heartless Heathers, and that is Polywana Cracker for the High Rollers.
Big Bang Fury on the drawback, but it's Mia Palau through lead jammer for the Heartless Heathers.
Mia Palau with 1 to beat and by for 4 points.
Polywana Cracker back into the pack once again, met by a braced 3-wall.
Mia Plow up on the toe stops and through for 4.
Eight 0 jam right now in favor of the Heartless Heathers. Palau back into the pack once again. Takes a body whip to the outside. 4-point scoring pass, Heartless Heathers.
Even up in the pack. Polywana Cracker contained in the straightaway.
Malicious Intentions playing offense for the Heathers. I believe that was Fleetwood smack to the penalty box. 15-3 jam in favor of the Heathers. 131-182. Little less than 8.5 minutes to go in the second half.
Hey, Derby fans, know a business that would benefit by promoting at Derby or to Rose City Rollers members? Email sponsorship at rosecityrollers.com or check out our sponsorship page at rosecityrollers.com.
Lures Lemon on the track for the High Rollers. Force majeure for the Heartless Heathers.
Fours pushing the defense out at the front of the pack. 2-wall gets braced up once again, and Lures Lemon clears on the inside for lead jammer.
Lures Lemon on the outside, picking up 4 points.
Fours passes the star, and it was a successful pass to the Blast Unicorn, but Blast scrubbed to the inside by Brute.
Lures Lemon galloping for 4.
Blast Unicorn clear on the initial pass for the Heartless Heathers. Direction of play penalty. Looks like it's going to send Pixie to the penalty box.
I would like to thank a few more of our sponsors, Shebop, K's Bar, and Vacasa.
Once again, we find ourselves on the Jam on Hawthorne jammer line to get this one started.
Kassassin and Headache, your jammers of record for this jam.
Pack advantage, Heartless Heathers.
And they are using it. Scratcher in the eye, active offense up front. Forced to drop back and bridge, though. Headache pushes out the pack. Lead jammer goes to the Heartless Heathers.
Clock reads 6:12. Headache through 4-4.
Malicious Intentions checking into the penalty box for the Heartless Heathers.
Fast pack and a whip for Headache.
Nice offense by Stan. 3 more points picked up by the High Rollers.
We'd like to thank a few more of our sponsors, PDX Pipeline, S1 Helmets, and Voodoo Donuts. Donuts.
Thinking about buying a car from a Tonkin dealership? Tell them the Rose City Rollers sent you. Tonkin.com.
That is Polywana Cracker wearing the star for the High Rollers, and already through the pack with lead jammer. Brood again on the cycle up. Freddie Herfury, though, your jammer of record now for the Heathers.
Polywana Cracker calling off the jam.
Give some love to some more of our sponsors. Charlene Quaresma Financial Advisor, Sisu Mouthguards, Naomi's Organic Farm Supply.
Team timeout being called by the Heartless Heathers.
And that timeout's brought to you this evening by Trailhead Credit Union. Trailhead Credit Union is the home of the 3% interest checking account. How about that? 3% interest on your checking. That's a good deal.
You don't get that anywhere.
Go check our friends out at Trailhead Credit Union for all your financial needs. We'd like to remind everybody once again, if you're out drinking a Rose City sponsored beverage or grabbing some food, show our sponsor some love on social media and tag your photos with the hashtag RCR sponsor. You'll be entered to win a pair of VIP tickets to one of our upcoming games.
I want to do a quick shout out for a former CCRD skater, Twisted Krister. Hello in the audience.
So that team timeout is over. Heathers still trying to come back down at 54, 140 to 194.
.442 remaining as we get this one started. Mia Palau's out first. Lead jammer, Heartless Heathers.
It's a good way to get things started. Forearm penalty to Scratcher in the eye, but Lures Lemon still in the pack working on the initial pass.
Mia Palau smashed in turn 1. She continues to try to find space.
Stan playing offense in the backfield. Mia Palau having a hard time getting through. Meanwhile, Lures Lemon clears the pack on a 4-point scoring pass.
Give a shout out to a couple more of our sponsors. Porque No, the Portland Mercury, and Cedar and Moss Lighting. Thank you all so much for helping make Roller Derby happen.
And a quick shout out to Zero Fox all the way from Salem, Oregon.
Headache jamming against Nougat knockout for the High Rollers.
Heartless Heathers playing the inside line. And Nougat knockout persists, picking up lead jammer, High Rollers.
Blast Unicorn reporting to the penalty box on a track cut penalty. Pixie now to the penalty box on a direction of play. Nougat knockout, 4 points so far for the High Rollers, and the Heathers have passed the star to Scratcher in the eye. And another team timeout being called by the Heartless Heathers, this using their official review as their last team timeout.
And that team timeout, again, being brought to us by Trailhead Credit Union for all your financial needs. Check out our good friends over at Trailhead Credit Union. Hey, we'd like to thank Deb Counts Tabor. Let Deb guide you home. Proud realtor, sponsor of the Rose City Rollers. Check it out at welcometopdx.com.
143 Heartless Heathers, 205 High Rollers, 2:52 remaining in this second and final period of play.
That's Polywana Cracker jamming once again for the High Rollers opposite Mia Palau for the Heartless Heathers.
Green wall at the front, Mia Palau with 2 to beat.
Yeah, one of those, though, is Big Bang Fury, who has been amazing tonight at the front of the pack. Mia Palau, though, finding an answer, lead jammer going to the Heartless Heathers.
Polywana Cracker contained by the 4 wall of the Heartless Heathers. Mia Palau finding some space on the outside, 4-4.
Nice lateral movement getting through the pack on that scoring pass. Jamafist on the drag back of Polywana Cracker. That brace 2 wall, great containment for the Heathers. Blast Unicorn up to play offense.
Mia Palau in the middle of a green sandwich in turn 1.
Look at the struggles there in turn 1. Blast trying to play offense once again. Palau to the outside. Heathers losing Jamafist to the penalty box. Both jammers being reset.
And both jammers have been very busy tonight. It is tired time for all the skaters.
Blast Unicorn now reporting to the penalty box for the Heathers. And Polywana Cracker clears. But that jam went 2 minutes.
Want to remind everyone once again, if you're thinking about buying a car from a Tonkin dealership, tell them the Rose City Rollers sent you. That's Tonkin.com.
Given the time left on the period clock, this is likely the last jam of tonight's bout. Lurs Lemon jamming for the High Rollers opposite Headache.
Lures Lemon out first, lead jammer, High Rollers.
Headache working against the High Rollers defense at the front of the pack.
Lures Lemon seems uninterested in getting pummeled at the moment.
Headache clears on the initial pass. Period clock reaches 0 and the jam is called. Our score may be unofficial, but it's pretty sure we are safe to say the High Rollers are victorious this evening. And there's your final. Fans, give it up for the High Rollers. We'll see you. We'll see you. And fans, give it up for their opponents, the Heartless Heathers!
All right, just a minute here. We'll have our MVPs. You guys ready? All right, so we're going to have our MVP blocker.
MVP blocker is Scratcher in the Eye.
Scratcher in the eye. All right, and how about our MVP jammer?
It's a Mia Plow.
Mia Palau. All right. Are you guys ready? Ah, there they are. All right, here we go. Sorry, I missed you.
No worries.
All right, MVP blocker.
Pixie.
Pixie. All right, Pixie. And how about MVP jammer?
Lurs.
Lurs Lemon, MVP jammer. All right, thank you. Everybody gather in the middle of the track for some pictures. Thank you all for coming out. Hope to see you again here at the hangar at Oaks Park.